All right, guys, Daniela here, and thank you for joining us for the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. I have a very special guest today, Beth Ryan of Beth Ryan Media. Thank you so much for being here, Beth.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you.
So we are going to be talking about a topic I kind of have a love-hate relationship with, which I think we'll find is like very common for a lot of people. Video marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I very first started my business, back in 2014, I knew video was going to be a big piece of it for me. I communicated better on video than I did in writing. And I just felt through all of my research that it was something I wanted to put a lot of energy and effort into. And I did a great job for a couple of years. And then I got pregnant and, things slowed down. And so my videos slowed down quite a bit. And it was amazing the difference that I saw in the engagement and in social media and my blog and all of that stuff compared to when I was doing video to when I was not doing video. So that was like the proof is in the pudding for me. And so for solo estheticians, for spa owners, for med spa owners, I just want to share how important video is. And you are going to help us kind of give some tips and tricks and things that we can do to get started with video or improve our video. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Very good. So let's just first kind of talk about the importance of video and not just take my testimonial from it. I know you were saying Facebook is really caring about video a lot. Can you talk a little bit more about that and this new algorithm and what everybody's been talking about with that?
Yeah, so I've been hearing a lot of my clients complain about Facebook's algorithm and Instagram's algorithm and Instagram's owned by Facebook. So, and the thing I always tell them is that the only constant we'll have in social media is that it's going to change. Things are going to be mixed up. They're going to always want to stay at the, forefront of what's new and what's hot. But over the past, I don't know, maybe 5 years since smartphones have become more accessible to about everybody, video has always consistently been the form of media that does the best on Facebook, particularly. And that's recorded video and live video. And what we're seeing is the different ways that people consume video. So you used to have like longer form interview type style videos would do really well. And now we're finding that people just don't have the attention span to watch these videos. So now we're seeing more shorter videos that have more text graphics on them and less people talking. So it's a lot of what we call B-roll. So that's that background footage of just showing things happening as opposed to someone standing directly in front of the camera talking. And that is where a lot of people are seeing the most engagement right now is shorter videos that have text graphics that kind of tell the story. Because even your own behavior, you'll look at a video and you'll think for about 8 seconds and you'll watch it. Like, do I want to click on this video to hear what it's about, or do I just want to move on? So those first couple seconds, having a lot of text graphics and not really worried about the audio for the first, 8 to 15 seconds, because a lot of times people won't click on it yet. So they're wondering if they should even click on it. So I think that using video as part of your social media strategy is super important, especially for industries like the ones that you're talking about and reaching out to, where like, an esthetician or a med spa owner, you're the ones bringing these new kind of trendy things to your customers. And sometimes your customers need to see what you're talking about before they'll know if they should get it.
Yeah, I was just thinking as you were talking about the background video, the B-roll video, so easily. So one of the biggest objections that's going to come up with video is, I don't like being on camera. I don't know what to say. I feel uncomfortable. I don't want to put myself out there. But I definitely think you should put yourself out there because you are your own brand and people want to see you. And we're always our own worst critic, right? So we are going to
Yes.
be hardest on ourselves. But think about the amazing videos that you could do as an esthetician if you're just filming yourself doing the treatment just for 30 seconds, whether it's the facial massage or whether it's if you're doing a hydrofacial or a dermaplane or, any of those treatments. And then you can just put text graphics over them and explain kind of the benefits of the treatment. That would be awesome, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so many people do not like being on camera, which I've never understood because I've always loved it since I was a kid. But I understand that insecurity. There's a lot you have to think about when you're trying to do a video. And then you're also thinking about, like, ooh, when someone watches this, what are they going to, there's a lot you're thinking about. And I will say, trying to put yourself on camera is good because people want to connect with a person. They want to connect with you, and people like watching people. So
Mhm.
even though you might be like, oh, I don't look like a movie star, or I wish I weighed 20 pounds less, most people, they don't care what you look like. They just want to connect with someone. But that suggestion of, yes, maybe just showing the hands and just showing an esthetician going through the process of putting together a facial and having text over it, that's totally fine. Like, nobody even has to be in the video for that. Maybe the customer, if they have like a mask on them or something, if they'll allow that. But
Mhm.
yeah, you don't, now it's to the point where you don't have to be in the video if you don't want to. You just have to get creative of what could you film that is still educating and your consumer, or telling them about what you have to offer, but doesn't show you.
So there's option one for people that are kind of afraid to get into video from the get-go. But
Uh-huh.
we both agree that yes, you should put yourself out there because that person is connecting with you. And one of the best ways to do that is with Facebook Live, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about the algorithm a little bit before. So, how do people figure out what they're going to say, when they're going to post? What kind of advice would you give to someone who, again, is wanting to start in video? They're a little bit nervous, but they know it's something that they should do for their business to help others. How do they get started in that?
I love that question because there are so many people who, they watch other people's videos and they're like, I should be doing this too. But then they just get really overwhelmed with all the logistics of it and
Hmm.
what they'll say. So they stop before they even start. So my advice would be, for instance, I'm running a 5-day free video challenge. It's called 5 days to your first video. And I'll have people in a private Facebook group and I'll give them little bits of information about how to create a video. And then on the 5th day, I'm going to encourage them to create their first video. Or maybe it's not their first video, but finding accountability, finding someone who can keep you accountable, whether it's someone like me who does like video for a living, or you have someone who's like your business bestie and you're like, listen, we need to get on camera. I will just put this off to the back burner unless I have someone holding my feet to the fire. So if you could find someone to keep you accountable and maybe challenge each other to do it, even though you're both uncomfortable, and better yet, you can like interview each other via Facebook Live if you guys live in the same city, and having someone to help you will make it a million times easier, because it might just feel overwhelming and like you're alone and talking to your phone. You might need someone else there to help you out at first. And if that's what you need, then that's what you need. And if you can try to do like on a new month, maybe you're like, okay, I'm going to commit to doing one Facebook Live every week. You'll be surprised by the end of the month of how you're much more comfortable going live, and how it doesn't have to be so like full of pressure and like that you have to be perfect. It can be more conversational. You can mess up, and people are very forgiving, and people will start tuning in. They'll be like, oh, she's going live again. I want to know what she's going to say, or I want to know about this new offer that she's talking about. You'll be
Yeah. So
surprised about people who tune in.
one of the strategies that I have mentioned in some of my trainings in the past is using Facebook Live for so estheticians in general have um, typically they'll have a new monthly promotion. So whether they're doing a chemical peel promotion or if it's January, New Year, New You, whatever it is, like every single month, there tends to be some kind of promotion that we're working on in the spa. And so knowing your promotions and checking out your promotional calendar can allow you to kind of prep and plan for that. So if you have, say, a chemical peel promotion coming up the month before, you can do a Facebook Live, one per week, and map out, week one, I'm going to talk about um, what a chemical pill is. And week two, I'm going to talk about pre and post care. And week three, I'm going to talk about contraindications. And then week four, I'm going to announce my promotion. So for me, I found like when you take the thinking out of it and you just map out a specific strategy and break it into pieces, it kind of takes that fear away. And what I love about Facebook Live, and part of the reason I think it's so popular, and you can let me know your opinion on this, is that it is real, right? Like we're not all picture perfect. We don't, like, I haven't even brushed my hair today. And it's one of those things that it's like, this is real. You have that feeling like you're talking on FaceTime or on Skype or something like that. And you have that real connection with the business. And I think that people crave that because in the past, businesses have been so untouchable and you haven't been able to connect with them. And this really breaks down those barriers, which is really like people are looking for connection, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And they're looking for answers to their questions, and doing Facebook Lives is a great way to get in front of your audience and tell them what they want to know. I mean, I get messages every day asking different questions about video, and sometimes I think like, oh, I don't have anything to teach people, and then I realize like, yeah, I do. I hop on a Facebook Live and they're asking all these questions. I think they're very basic questions, but then I realize someone who doesn't work with video every day doesn't know this. So doing Facebook Live is a really great way to get more personal into your business and to connect with the people who are following you. And I love your example of how you outlined like how to promote this chemical peel. By the fourth week, people are going to be like, I want to do a chemical peel now that I know what it is and what the results are. And like they see an example, and like by the time you actually offer the promotion, you don't really have to sell because you've been selling it for the past like couple weeks with your Facebook Lives. Like that was a really great example of what people should be doing every month for their promotions. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. And, you just gave me another idea too for estheticians, because a lot of times we forget how, just like you were saying, what we consider basic knowledge, but
Mm-hmm.
so much more than you think and just pay attention to the questions that your clients are asking you, and the questions that you're getting, that you're seeing posted maybe by in other Facebook groups or by your friends, and you can use Facebook Live to answer those. Now
Mm-hmm.
you had mentioned before the call, we were talking about repurposing Facebook Live videos. How would you go
Right.
about that?
Right. So I've been teaching this process more and more. So after you go live, Facebook gives you the option to save the video, and you always hit save video, and it saves it to your phone. This is if you're going live from your phone. And so it saves directly into your camera roll on your phone. And what you can actually do from there is import it into an editing software. It can be right on your phone. You can use the iMovie app on your phone, or you can use different editing software on a computer. If you're going to do it on a computer, I use Mac products. So I just airdrop the footage from my phone to my computer, and then I put it in the editing software. And then if you stay on your phone, you can import it into the editing software on your phone. And then once you get to the editing process, you really just have to take out the parts that, if someone were to watch this as a regular video, not watching it live, it wouldn't make sense to have that in there. So I find that a lot of time with live videos, people are like talking to their people. They're kind of waiting for people to join. So there's just kind of this like first part of the video where it's not really relevant. And then they get down to business and they're like, okay, so today we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z. And then you go through the video and you just edit out the parts where you're like, if someone asks you a question and you say, oh, Ashley, thank you so much for asking that question. Like you would edit that part out for the recorded video. So you just go through and take out all the live aspects that aren't really needed, edit that all together, usually shortens the video up a bit. You can add text graphics to it. You can put some music underneath it. And then if you have one of those intro logo reveals, like in the very beginning of the video where it, like your logo spins and that's what it's called, a logo reveal, you can add that. And then from there, you just upload it to the social channels that you want to use. If you want to use it for Facebook or later for YouTube, or maybe you just want to save it in your Dropbox and you'll use it at a later date, but you just don't want to schedule it now. So it's really just downloading it to your phone right after you go live, and then editing out any like fumbles over words anytime you're kind of talking to your people, and really just leaving in the core content of the video. And then you can reuse it for all of the other social media channels.
Yeah, I love that. I love how, a lot of times when we talk about video, it seems overwhelming, right? Because it's like, I don't know how to edit, or I'm not a tech person, or that's going to take too much time. And the thing is it doesn't have to be perfect. And, that's one thing that really I feel has helped me in my business. When I was very first starting, I heard a quote that said, "Success happens when you start before you're ready." And
Love that.
in Lean In, Sheryl Sandberg's book, who's the COO of Facebook, she said, "Done is better than perfect." So we have all these examples of, don't get stuck in perfectionism. Just, take it, get it done and get it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can tell you, if I would be waiting for something to be perfect, then I would never have started my business, because I have gone through so many iterations of my website that it's like, oh, once you finally get it done, then there's like 10 other things that you don't like anymore, so it's just like, do the work, get it out there. And with video, it's not as scary and overwhelming as it seems. I mean, I know that you have a course, and we're going to link that up in the show notes. It's a very, very affordable course, less than $40, I believe, that
Mm-hmm.
will help teach you how to edit videos and go through the entire process on your smartphone. So you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to have any fancy technology. You have to have an iPhone, right? So you have to have an
Mm-hmm.
iPhone, and you have to download iMovie, which iMovie's free, um, on an iPhone. And that's it. And then you can post it up there. And the amount of ROI that you get, and the amount of um, leverage possible, because it's not just, you can create this video. That video can then be emailed out to your client list. It can be posted on multiple social media channels. It's not something that it's just one and done, that it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I did this Facebook Live and then now I have to continually do it over and over. You can really leverage that material, and reuse it. So it does not have to be this scary, overwhelming thing for tech geniuses only.
Right. No, and letting it be that is just you missing this awesome opportunity that we have right now with social media and technology, and thinking that, oh, it's just for the younger kids, or it's just for someone who's smarter than me and understands all this tech stuff. It's not true. It's quite simple once you learn the steps, and once you find a good teacher who can just show you what you're supposed to do, keep the mumbo jumbo techie talk out of it, and just let you figure out exactly what you need to do and keep it simple. So I love that you say that, because it is important that people give this a try, even if they do, if it is a little bit intimidating. It doesn't have to be. Just like anything else, there's a learning curve, but it's definitely not impossible. Definitely not impossible to learn how to edit these videos and put them up on your social media. And another thing that I wanted to say was, just because of the volume of the amount of people who are posting on social media 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're so right when you say that, like, these videos don't have to be perfect. When they're just for your content, just, connecting with your audience, they can be a little bit more informal. It's okay if you mess up, and it's okay if it's not the most polished edited video that was ever created. I will say, for your social media strategy, for content for social media, I think that it's okay if it's not perfect. I will say on the flip side of that, if you were to get a video created, like you were to hire like a videographer to come in and make like a beautiful promo video for your business that could like live on your website for a couple years, or it could be like the cover video of your Facebook page, that should be immaculate. That should be beautiful. That should be edited properly and have wonderful animation and music. But just the videos that you're using maybe weekly on your social media, it's okay if those aren't super perfect.
So you mentioned something about hiring a videographer, um,
Mm-hmm.
and that how would someone go about finding a videographer, and what is kind of a general price range?
Right. So it's tough because people are listening from all over. So I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, where the cost of living is much lower than Hawaii, for example.
Yes.
So to find a video, a lot of people find me through word of mouth. You can always Google it, but I also think that going on Instagram and searching some hashtags of like your hashtag your city video, like hashtag, mine would be like hashtag Omaha video or Nebraska video or something like that. I find that a lot of the really creative, awesome, talented videographers, they're definitely using Instagram for their business. So looking on Instagram, I think is a great place. And then also on Google. And of course, asking like, your other entrepreneur friends, like who have you used and did you like working with them? Now for prices, again, it's tough since we're all in different places, but like you can get like a college kid who is studying broadcasting in college, or they're studying, you know, videography in college, and you could have them do it for very cheap. I mean, you still need to pay them because chances are they still have to buy that really nice camera and all the equipment that it takes to make your video, but you could like kind of pay them more cheap, so it kind of helps build their portfolio. That is definitely how I started. I would charge people very little so I could start getting some videos on my portfolio. But you know, you get what you pay for. So when they're very beginning, they might not be as skilled as someone who's more advanced. Like a solo videographer will be $1,000 to like $3,000 to do video work for you. And then a video production company, like this is what they do. They do commercials. They're going to be like $4,000 and more to work with. I think that's a pretty good range. So you can stay in the hundreds of dollars for a very beginning person or a college student. Maybe a college student would even do it for free in exchange for something. To an intermediate, maybe one-man band type of person will be $1,000, maybe $2,000. And then definitely the thousands of dollars keep building when you hire like a big production company to come and help you.
Good to
But you
know.
definitely see, yeah, and you see the difference in quality. So it depends on where you are in your business. If you're making multiple six figures, then yes, hire the production company that can make a beautiful cinematic video. But if you're just starting, you could hire someone who is also just starting, and, you know, just kind of seeing where you're at in your business and what makes sense. Like if you make this video and it's $1,000, how many customers is it going to take for you to make that investment back?
Hmm.
And for most of my clients, they find, you know, for them, if they have a high ticket thing, if they get one customer, they've made back their investment in a video. So it's definitely worth it because it'll get people's attention. But you just kind of have to see where you're at and what makes sense for your budget.
Okay, one more question before we go. I know
Yeah.
that Instagram is really kind of a big, it seems to be a focus in the spa industry. Because it's so visual, and I'm
Hmm.
hearing tons of stuff about Instagram stories. So
Hmm.
what would be the difference in creating a video for Instagram stories compared to doing a Facebook Live? Like, what is the difference in strategy or anything like that?
Facebook Lives, I feel like I see more people use that they do a lot of interview style. So they bring on a guest. So for estheticians, you could bring on a happy customer or someone who's in a similar industry, like maybe a massage therapist, and you guys like doing something like that for Facebook. Facebook Live is almost like a talk show. And
Mm-hmm.
it's also, and then I see a lot more like how-to videos um, for Facebook Live. For Instagram stories, I'm seeing a lot more behind the scenes, very personal type videos that are quick and to the point. And what's great about Instagram stories is that if you have at least 10,000 followers in the Insta story, you can say, you know, I'm offering 20% off of facials today, swipe up to get the coupon. But you, as of right now, you need about 10,000 followers to be able to have that swipe up feature, but it's really powerful for your people to just go from looking at you to what you have to offer to going to that offer and claiming it. And then if you don't have 10,000 followers yet, that's totally fine. What you can say is, I'm offering 20% off of all facials today. Head to my profile to click the link in my bio and I'll get you all hooked up. It's just a really, if you find that you have more interaction on Instagram or you have more followers and you're just getting more bang for your buck there, using Insta stories is amazing with connecting with people, because they start to feel like they know you, and the more that they know you, the more they trust you, and of course, then they'll buy from you.
Awesome. Perfect. So anything else that you want to add? Any other advice you want to give to call this episode complete for you?
I think I just want your people to know that it's not a young guns game video. You know, it's not for the younger generation. It's for all generations. I believe that it can be simplified. You just need to learn the steps, and to not go on video, to not put yourself out there, to not speak your truth is really just, it's holding you back. I fully believe that if you're a business owner in 2018, you need to embrace video, and specifically the social media aspect of using video. So get on video. It'll be totally fine. You will live, and it's only going to help you. It's going to help your conversations when you're talking to people one-on-one. It's going to help you when you're giving presentations. It's going to help your confidence. It's only going to help you. And I believe in you.
Awesome. Well, I'll be sure to provide the link to your course in the show notes. And where else can people find you if they want to connect with you?
Sure. I'm facebook.com/Beth Ryan. That's where you can follow me on Facebook. And then I'm on Instagram @Beth Ryan Media. I post about video and social media tips, as well as, you know, I post about like the video that I edited for someone, kind of posting my work and the trials and tribulations of being an entrepreneur. And then if you want to contact me via my website, www.bethryan.tv.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Beth.
Thank you. Have a good one.